Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It has been an actual hot minute since the last time I did a sit down video. Like, I've done loads of vlogs, I've done plenty of day in the lives, I've done bits of everything, but I have not sat down and filmed a proper video in a very long time. I think it probably was way before Frankie was born. Like way before, probably even a year before Frankie was born, that I sat down and actually did a video. If you are new to my channel, welcome, it's nice to meet you. My name's Nikki. If you have been here for a while, it's great to have you back. So before we even get started, you just know how to do it. Grab yourselves a big old cup of tea, sit down and chill and enjoy the video. So I'm bringing you guys an assumption video. I asked over on my Instagram, which I will pop just down here for you. I asked over on my Instagram for your guys' assumptions. So anything that you maybe thought about me, that you maybe wanted me to answer and give you the juicy goss, or just the general chit chat really. Kind of get to know me a bit better as well, because I've from looking at some of the assumptions that have been sent over, yeah, it's clear to see that maybe some people don't know me, or maybe some people are just trying to get to know me as well, which is really good. So I'm going to get into the video. So as you can see, I have a few assumptions to head through. Some of them are kind of similar, so I'll kind of miss some of them out, and yeah, we'll just get onto the video and see what it gets like. So sit down, chill, enjoy the video, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so one of the assumptions were, you wish Frankie was a boy. So actually, when I first fell pregnant, I actually thought I was having a little boy. I just had a feeling, like an inkling, that she was going to be a little boy. So I was in my head, I was looking at outfits, I was looking at everything. I just thought she was a boy. I had a feeling. So we had went to our 20-week scan, and we were going to try and get the sex of the baby if the baby was in the right position. But we did it as a secret. So my sister got given the envelope in the appointment, and she took it away. So she found out before any of us, and she organised my gender reveal. So here's us at the gender reveal, ready to slice the cake open. I'm expecting blue. My ex-partner was expecting blue, and yeah, we were all hyped up for expecting to be blue. And cut it open and out popped pink. Shocked was an understatement, because I could have, honestly, like, if I could have like bet money on it, I could have bet money that I was having a boy. But it came out I was having a girl, and to be honest, so there was probably a little part of me that was kind of underlying that I secretly wanted a girl anyway. I'm not an overly girly person, but I do have a girly side, and I quite like I like Disney, princesses, getting just all things like girly, except for like hundreds and hundreds of pink. And I don't really do much dresses. I personally don't wear dresses very often, so I probably won't put Frankie in an awful lot either. As you can probably see from my Instagram, like, her outfits and things like that are quite like chic and cool and like fashionable, rather than being like cute and girly and frilly. To be honest, like, I was just happy that the baby was safe and well and had everything that was meant to be there at that scan. Like, I had a massive sigh of relief. So it was just nice to be able to enjoy that and enjoy the moment of having a little girl. So no, I don't wish she was a boy. I thought she was a boy, but I am happy I have a little girl, because that is just like, that is the icing on the cake for me. Like, she's the most perfect little girl as well. She's so content, so happy, and just, yeah, like, I can't wait to create like memories and stuff like that with her, and just grow a bond. That's what I'm looking forward to, just growing that bond, having that mother-daughter relationship growing up, and yeah, just seeing how it goes from there. Okay, I have another assumption here. Says, you're so nice, I love you. Have you always loved to dance? So this is actually from one of my dancers, and I love you too. You know who you are, who's written this one. I'm not going to name names and stuff like this, because I like to keep this a bit anonymous. But yeah, this one of my dancers. Have you always loved to dance? Well, I didn't get put into classes and stuff like that when I was younger. I was brought up in dance because mum and dad have a background in dance themselves, and because they had a background in dance, I just kind of went with the flow and got into it. I was taken along to a lot of their training sessions, and I just picked it up and trained myself. I taught myself an awful lot of street and things like that myself, because there wasn't really an awful lot back in the day back in the day, that makes me sound like proper ancient, but there wasn't like an awful lot back when I was younger. I'm 32 in July, but back when I was like, say, even just like 9, 10, there was nothing in like street, commercial, nothing of that. And that was the stuff back then that I really, really liked. My mum and dad were breakdancers. I was brought up on like a hip hop scene, and that was the styles that I kind of knew and that resonated with me like the best. Like, and there was no classes, like there was no classes available for that kind of thing back then. So I had to self-teach myself. Self-teach? Self-taught. So I was self-taught in the street. I had to look up YouTube videos. I just had to learn things as I went. I just watched different choreographers, picked up stuff from them. If you are as old as I am, you'll probably remember things like the Wade Robson Project. Bloody loved the Wade Robson Project, so watched that all the time. They did have cringy like DVDs and stuff like that came out, and when I actually think back now, they were cringy and they were not great. But at the end of the day, it still taught me like even foundation steps to kind of make me love it even more. So I was self-taught for years and years, and then I went away on holiday with mum and dad, and I met this dancer, and she was dancing on the, like dancing at the night time entertainment type thing. So during the day we would always go and sit by the pool, but the people who entertained at night would just kind of stop around the pool and come round and check to see how everybody was, if anybody needed anything, entertain the kids and stuff. I would have, like I said, I think I was maybe about 11. I want to say I was 11. The girl was just at the poolside and she just said, look, I'm going down the stairs, I'm going to be training some dancing, do you just want to come down? And I went down with her, and she taught me a dance to, now, what was the name of that song? Had like sunlight, moonlight, don't blame it on sunlight. Is that right? Sunshine? Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. That's what she taught me a dance to. And it was the routine that she was actually doing that evening. So we learnt it, I kind of picked up the wee bit there, and she said, you should totally do dance classes. And I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'm a bit old for taking dance classes and stuff now. And the style that she did it was more like a kind of jazz style. So I hadn't done that before, and for her to turn around and say to me like, you're really good at it, I was like, oh, gave me like a little bit of confidence boost. So I went home, found a couple of dance classes and started, and that's pretty much where my love for, like, well, I say my love for dance, but it was where my love for all other styles came from, was just that one entertainer on holiday that just decided that she was going to be nice and teach me a wee dance that day, and it grew into a love and a passion that I can't even like describe. So like I just couldn't see dance not in my life after that. That was just like it. From training with mum and dad and teaching myself and things like that, it was just kind of, that was just normal. That didn't even feel like I was like doing anything different. That was just my normal. But then to take classes and to do like bits and pieces like that, that's where I found my proper passion. And I will forever love and respect my dance teacher at the time for building my confidence and making me feel like I was actually really good at something and boosting me and telling me to go for things. And that's where I am. That's why I am where I am today, because I had that drive and that push behind me, and that's all I've ever wanted to keep installing back into kids afterwards, was just that same drive, that same confidence. Like, do it for you, don't do it for anybody else. If it's not there inside, then you're not gonna enjoy it anyway. So do it for yourself. Okay, I've got one here that says, Frankie has the best mum ever. Thank you very much. I would like to think I'm a good mum. I've obviously like taught dancers for years and years and years, but you never ever see yourself as a mum, because you've just kind of been around other people's kids and you only take them for like an hour, 2 hours at a time, and then they go home and then you go home and then you don't have anything. So it's nice to know that people think I'm a good mum, because I feel like I've learnt a lot over the years from other people's kids and seeing how they are and their personalities and things. But at the same time, like, I've had to learn an awful lot as well, even in just this last 9 months of Frankie being here. Like, I've had challenges myself trying to overcome and try to learn things. So thank you for saying that I'm a good mum, because that makes me feel great, and knowing that I'm doing a good job with my daughter. Okay, I've got one here that says, you are an undercover makeup artist. No, I'm not. I wish I was. My sister though, on the other hand, would be more the makeup artist than what I am. I love makeup. I love playing with makeup. I love doing my makeup. I used to do my makeup more, back before Frankie was born compared to what I do now, because I just don't have the time the same anymore. I probably could make time, but I'm a single mum and I'm trying to juggle Frankie and my dog and work stuff and life and the house and cleaning and everything adult that I just didn't do before, and all by myself. So it's kind of hard to find that like a happy medium between, right, okay, you need to actually sit down and just have some time for yourself, and I probably need to schedule that in more often than I actually do, because that was one thing I really loved doing, was just sitting down and doing my makeup. Didn't matter if I was going anywhere, I just liked to sit and do it and try new looks and things. So I probably will go back to doing a bit more. So I'm not an undercover makeup artist, I just like to play with makeup. I'm quite a creative person, so I like to like play and see what I can come up with. But to be fair, this is as good as you get pretty much every single day, because I just do easy peasy makeup that suits me fine and I don't have to stress about it. Okay, I've got one here that says, I love your vlogs from you and Frankie, please keep them going, it's helping me through COVID. To be fair, I love vlogging. Like, vlogging's probably my favourite thing to do, because I just pick up the camera and just capture the moments, and it's nice because it's not even just the fact that you guys get to watch it, but I love going back and watching my vlogs, like see things like from back in Disney when I did the Disney dance camp with the dancers. I watch that all the time, purely because like it's such a good, like, it was good banter, like the kids were having a great time, everybody was like happy, you could see everything that was going on and stuff like that, and it was really nice. Like, it's nice to watch back, and the memories that you made and created are all there in one little video, and it honestly, like, it makes me smile watching back things like that. Even things like my London vlogs, like when I've been down in London visiting like friends and stuff down there, like it just makes me remember like all the good things that I have done and the places I've been and the people I've met and just the general memories you make. And I think that's why I like the vlogging side of it. Like, as much as I love sitting down with the camera and talking to yous and like maybe doing some makeup tutorials, or like I'm doing right now, the Assumptions video, it's nice and I really enjoy those ones as well, but I love making memories. And the fact that I've decided that the camera's back in my life and that Frankie's memories are going to get created and made, and I'm going to capture them, and I'll be able to look back when she's maybe a bit older and watch them with her and be like, look, this was you were just this little teeny tiny baby. And it'll just be nice. It'll just be nice to look back on and just be like, oh, that's my little girl, and she's maybe not so little anymore. And I'm glad it is helping you guys through COVID as well, because it's not a great time. And to be fair, vlogs are like going to be at a minimal just now for what we're able to offer and what we can like kind of show you, is because we're all stuck in the blooming house, aren't we? So there's only so much that we do, and to be fair, most of my days are pretty much the same, and they're all kind of rolling into one. Hopefully this lockdown kicks off soon, and then we can get back to some sort of normality and then get out of the house and go and make more memories and more adventures, and I will make sure and vlog them all for you as well, so that you have things that keep you occupied. Well, I've got one here from my sister. I'm not even going to deny that one. It says that you love the Bobby. If you're not Scottish, you will not understand that one. And if you are Scottish, I'm not even going to answer that one, Lauren, so no. Okay, I've got another dance one here, and it says, when you were younger, you didn't want to dance. I can't even say I didn't want to dance, because I was literally like born a dancer. There probably wouldn't have been any other way to describe it, because I was born into a dancing family. It just kind of happened. That was my life. That's what I was brought into. That's my mum and dad's life, and I just kind of had to fit into it. So I haven't really known anything different, to be honest. So no, I definitely love dancing. I always have done. Right, let's try something that's not a dance question for a wee change. Okay, I've got one here. It says, you're very confident and you know what you want and how to get it, and nothing's getting in your way. Okay, I'm going to break that into kind of two little sections. The first section says you're very confident. That's going to be like a big I probably come across more confident than I actually am. Situations where I would be like with my friends or with my kids, like I call my dancers my kids because they technically are, they've been my whole life and I'm a big part of theirs. People like that, like, I'm comfortable with. So it's not that I'm confident, I'm comfortable. Like, so because I'm more comfortable with them, I can be more confident and I don't have to worry about things so much. So I don't have to worry how I'm looking, I don't really worry about like what they think of me, because to be honest, they wouldn't be in my life if they didn't think great of me anyway. I'm not a confident person. If you put me in a situation where I don't know very much people, if you just basically take me and plunk me in the middle of a busy party and I maybe know 1 or 2 people, I will have like the most serious social anxiety. I will sit on a chair, I will not move, I will barely get up to go and get a drink. I won't, my camera battery's flashing at me. I won't move, I won't get up and dance. I'm a dancer. I refuse point blank to get up and dance. Like, it's just not, I just don't feel comfortable. I feel like everyone's judging me. I feel like everyone's talking about me. They probably aren't, like, no one's probably even interested. Like, why would they even be interested anyway? But it's just those thoughts that get in your head, and I've got that little devil on my shoulder going, this person's talking about you. Oh my God, they're probably looking at what you're wearing. And they're just, like, it just plays on my mind and it makes me feel really, really awkward. So confidence wise, I've not really got that great confidence. I hide a lot of confidence with personality. So I allow my personality to kind of shine through a bit more when I'm around like the people I'm comfortable with. So that kind of probably comes across that I'm quite confident, when in actual fact, like, I'm probably the most least confident person ever. Considering I teach kids dancing, I'm always trying to tell them to be confident. Probably a bit kind of pot kettle black, because I don't really preach that myself too much. Okay, camera battery changed. So yeah, back to that question, are you confident? So that was a no. I'm not an overly confident person. I'm probably the worst person for self-doubt. Beat myself up over like the slightest thing, and I'll rip apart every part of a compliment. Like, so if somebody compliments me on something, I'll just find a flaw in that compliment just because I don't believe what they're saying, or I don't believe what they're saying is true. But for the next part of it though, it says, and you know what you want and how to get it, nothing's getting in your way. That's a big massive yes. So I'm quite like a highly driven person. So when I want something and I see it in my grasp, like that goal is getting, I'm having that goal. I don't like to be defeated, so I don't give up on myself too quickly, in the sense that it would eat away at me if I just let something else win. Like, it's not a competitive thing, but it's competitive with myself. Like, I'm not competitive with anybody else, but it's more that if I don't succeed the thing that I wanted to succeed, I just feel like I failed, and like I don't want to be a failure in myself. So hence why probably I've managed to build the dance school as much as I have, because I've pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. Even through the massive knockbacks that have come over the years, literally my confidence has been chipped and chipped and chipped. I still cannot give up on it. Like, there is no way I could ever give up on it. There is a few other personal goals that I've started to set myself, things like buying a house. I want to be able to get myself an even better car, like all these things. Like, I know they're material things, but to me, like, it's like my next kind of goal. I do know how I want to get stuff, because I goal set, so I would write down what I want to achieve, and then I'll sit and plan out like how I can achieve that. So like, I'll make a little mental note, or I'll sit and actually write it down. Like, I love to write down. My notebook obsession is ridiculous, but I would sit and write it down. So I would write down what my goal is and how I think I'm going to achieve it, what kind of things I need to do to achieve it, and then just go for it. Like, so I'd say to anybody who has got goals like set ahead, go for them. Like, don't ever hold back on them. Like, the only person that can achieve their dreams is you, so go for it. There's a lot of dance ones, so I'm trying not to give you all too much dance. Okay, here's one here. You wish you started YouTube sooner. So I've actually been on YouTube for 3 years or 4 years? Can't remember. It's 3 or 4 years, and I was quite consistent for a while. But I just like I'm back doing again. I'm just doing it for fun. Like, I'm enjoying it. Like, it's something that kind of, it's back like a hobby again. Like, I have like something to do that's not just being a mum, and that's why I've decided to pick the camera back up and get back into it. So for those like years that I was doing it, I was just enjoying it. And then I kind of took, like, I fell pregnant with January. I fell pregnant with Frankie back in like ended December, January of 2018, 2019, and my last vlog I did was my Birmingham vlog, when I took the girls down for the Ryan Jenkins workshop, which was at the start of January, and at that time I didn't know I was pregnant. So I was still planning, I was like still going ahead with all these vlogs and like kicking into it. I think what I wish I had done was be consistent with my Vlogmas, because I was doing really well. Like, I think I got up to like Vlogmas day 10 or something like that, and I was doing really well with them, and then for some reason I just let them fall off. I don't even know why I did it. Like, I had vlogged them, they were there, but but I kind of fell behind on the editing, and because I fell behind the editing, I didn't want to upload them because I was like, well, what's the point in uploading day 13 on like day 20? So I ended up just not bothering it, and it's a shame because there was actually some really nice vlogs. I should have just blown them and put them up. I want to make sure that I'm being more consistent with it now. I took that year out with Frankie, and it wasn't like a personal choice as in like I'm not going to do YouTube anymore. I still really wanted to do YouTube, and I did film a couple of clips for doing vlogs, but again I was so tired. I really wasn't well with Frankie at the beginning. I was so tired, I felt ill, I felt drained. It was taking me just to go to my work and teach the dancing, and by the time I came home I was knackered. I literally couldn't be bothered. It drained me so much that I didn't have the energy to do the things that I had as like my little hobbies. So I ended up getting out of the loop of it. I was planning on doing like vlogs and updates of my pregnancy, and then again my life just kept going like this. Like it was literally just like up and down, up and down, up and down, and it was mayhem. I was trying to fit in work stuff, I had competitions, I had shows, I had moving house, like it was ridiculous. I had so much things to fit into this tiny small space of time, and I just felt like I didn't have the time for it. Looking back now though, I definitely did have the time for it. At those times I just wanted to sleep. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, in the times that I did have, I just wanted to bloody sleep. Get a cup of tea, lie on the couch and just fall asleep if I want to fall asleep. If I can say to any person who's either pregnant or going to be a mum in the future, whatever else, take those times to rest. Like, don't feel pressured to do, like, anything in those spaces of times just because you feel like you have to. Take the time to rest, because I can tell you one thing, you ain't going to get no rest when the babies are here. It is a struggle sometimes to fit things in now, so I wish I had done it a little bit more through that. So it's not that I wish I'd started YouTube earlier. I think my answer to that is that I wish I had been more consistent with it, like, and just kind of kept it up. Like, even if it was maybe like a video a month, a video a week, like something like that. That's my wee regret to that side of it, because I would have liked to have been looking back on videos of me being pregnant with Frankie and the process of it, because I went through a horrific time near the end when I had preeclampsia and stuff, and I really should have vlogged that, because to then maybe let people know a bit about it. Which, to be honest, if anybody actually wants to hear a bit about that, comment that down below, because I could probably do like a little video on my pregnancy / birth experience, so that you can get an in-depth of what kind of happened, because it wasn't an easy one for me. Unfortunately, it was just a bit of a scare, a bit of a fright, and I'm just glad that the both of us are blooming here. I've got a question here. It says, did you always want to be a dance teacher? No, I didn't actually always want to be a dance teacher, and that was purely because I didn't really have very much confidence. So a lot of my, back to the confidence thing again actually, I didn't feel like I could do that. Like I didn't believe in myself enough when I was a teenager that I was going like, I'm gonna be a dance teacher. I kind of got to a point though in my teens, later on when I started to do a bit more, that I realised that actually, like, if I'm going to do anything to do with dance as my career, the one thing I do want to do is teach. So like my early part of dancing, I didn't even think I was going to do dancing. I actually was going to be an interior designer or a graphic designer. I loved art. I loved doing anything that was like creative, so hence why the dancing still fits into that. I just wanted to be creative, so I enjoyed doing those things, and that's what I kind of saw my career path going like. Then I got to kind of like about 15, 16, and things just started to kind of fall into place for dancing, and I just kind of felt a bit more comfortable with it, and I was like, do you know what, I think I might want to teach dancing. I went along to an audition for a company called Y Dance, and they had like a summer season thing on where you auditioned, and if you got part of the company, it was like a junior company, if you got part of it, you went away for like the whole of the summer with them. So you trained for a couple of weeks through in Broughton High School in Edinburgh, and they taught you all the dances and did things like that. And then from there, they then toured you around Scotland, and you performed all around Scotland at different theatres and stuff like that, which was amazing. Such an amazing experience. And I would highly say to any kids that have gotten the opportunity to do things like that, bloody do them. Like, do them. The things that, because you might never want to dance afterwards, but just to say you did it, like just to say you were part of something like that, it's like incredible. So yeah, I did that, and I think it was from then I was like, I'm going to audition for dance college. I'm going to try it. And I still wasn't going to. I was going to go and do sports or something like that just to kind of fill a year. And my dad was like, no, you're going to go. You're going to go and you're going to audition for dance college and you're going to see what happens. So I did, I went, auditioned, and I got in. At the same time, when I was going all the way through my college and stuff like that, they kept saying to me, oh, so when you go to perform, you go to auditions and blah blah, and I was like, I'm not really going to do that, I want to teach. And they were like, no, you have to go and do all that. And I was like, I don't have to. Like, I want to pass on my knowledge. I'd quite like to teach. Like, my confidence isn't there enough to go into the industry and dance and perform. So I would rather sit back and watch other people do that. Like, train other people to be the performer and the person that wants to do that, rather than me doing it. And I could sit in the background and be like, I helped create that. Rather than being like, hello, this is me. So I kind of took a back seat, and that's kind of how I felt with it, and I was more than comfortable with that. Okay, so I've got one here that says, how are you coping with lockdown? So I have to be completely honest here, and I'm not doing well with it. Like, I'm quite a sociable person. Like, I say that I'm sociable, as in, like, I'm a people person, so I like to be around people. I like to be around hustle and bustle. I like to be involved in stuff, and this sitting around in a house by myself. Well, I'm not by myself because I've got a dog and I've got Frankie, but at the same time, like, it's so dementing. Like, I've got no adult interaction, I've got nobody to speak to. I'm having to literally sit on house party every single day with my sister and my dad, just so I have adult people to talk to, because honestly it's absolutely draining. But the only good things, like, my silver lining to lockdown is that I've got Frankie's time. Like, so all this time where I probably would have been back at work, now not back at work, and I'm having complete free time to watch her develop and grow and learn and help with that. Like, and I would never have got that before, so I feel really blessed at the same time that I'm stuck in the house, because I'm getting that time with her that I wouldn't have got beforehand. Yeah, I'm not coping with lockdown as in the sense of me probably, which kind of goes into this next question. Someone also wrote, hey Nikki, how are you, like, mentally, physically and emotionally? And to be honest, those are the ones that probably hitting quite hard for me now. Mentally, if I'm being quite honest, I obviously split from Frankie's dad back in February, and from there, like, it's just like I felt like a weight's been lifted, but at the same time mentally, like, I'm struggling because I'm having to cope with everything, like everything on my own. I've got all the household bills, I've got everything to do with Frankie, so every scream, every tantrum, every cry for something, every need that she has is me. And it's a shame because she should have two people to interact with, but she doesn't. And mentally it's exhausting. Like, mentally it's exhausting on me. I wouldn't change it for the world because she is my absolute world anyway, but it's hard, it's exhausting, and I don't think anybody, like, it's hard enough for mums at the best of times, like coping with newborns and dealing with the stresses of being a mum and whatever else. But sometimes I wake up in the morning and I just have literally got no life about me whatsoever. I can't find the energy to get myself in the shower, can't find the energy to get myself dressed. Like, it takes me ages to get that motivation to do that, and that's not like me, because normally I'm like, right, up, go, let's do this, let's get that, let's get out of the house, let's go and do this. But because I can't do any of that, my motivation's gone for that side of it, which is kind of crap. But I'll get it back. But the way I'm looking at it is that will come back once we get out of this shitty situation. Then I'll be able to get back to normal. My normality will help with the mental side of it. Physically, I feel fine. Like, I'm fine physically. Emotionally though, I am an emotional mess. But to be fair, like, I've always been a bit like that. Like, I'm quite an emotional person at the best of times, but I think in the time that we've been, like, stuck in lockdown, which is, at the minute, it's been 7 weeks, I've cried so many times. Like, I literally will sit, Frankie will be sitting on the, like, the living room floor watching the TV, and I'll just look at her and burst into tears, because I'm just, like, one, emotionally drained, and two, like, just emotional over, like, everything that's going on and that she's missing out, and people aren't getting to see her or see her develop and learn. I'm not getting to see anybody. Like, it's heartbreaking. I'm so used to being around people, like, on a daily basis. I'm now sitting on my own completely, and it's daunting, it's horrible, but I'm trying to be positive, I'm trying to stay motivated, I'm trying to find things to keep me kind of going so that I don't get myself into, like, a dark place, because that's the last thing I want to do, is go back down a dark route. Talking to people is being, like, the best solution for me. So I'm glad that we are lucky enough now to have so much technology, and that I can talk to people on FaceTime. We're doing basically, like, quizzes twice a week now with the family and stuff as well, which is great because we're having turns around of holding the quiz. So some days I'll have to sit and find like 30 questions, which is that. I love it because I'm having to actually sit down and do something. I'm like, right, I need to find some questions here. And then other times I just get to sit back and enjoy getting the questions and training my little brain up a little bit. That's nice. It's hard. It's hard for everybody. Like, everybody is going through so much just now, and everybody's taking it differently as well. So we've just got to be mindful of everybody's emotions and everybody's feelings just now, and not everybody processes things the same as well. So just be careful how you approach people, how you come across to people, because it just takes that little kind of to knock them emotionally for me as well. Like, I'm missing my kids at the dancing. Like, I've not got my normal life of teaching anymore. My dance school's shut. Like, it's horrible to think that you've worked your butt off for the last 14 years and it's now no longer there because of what's going on. And I've just got to hope to God that it's like still going to be there at the end of it. I'm fighting for it, so I'll continue to fight for it. I'm not going to let something that I've worked so hard for disappear. So I need to keep myself mentally focused to keep that working as well. So okay, I've got one here that says your fave dance style is hip hop. Okay, story behind that one we've already touched on. Yes, it used to be. So when I was younger it was hip hop because it was all I knew. Like, that's what I kind of grew up with. And even into like my early 20s, like, it was still hip hop. Like, I still loved it. As much as I fell in love with all the other styles as well, hip hop was still like my baby. Like, but because of situations throughout my 20s, like competing and dance mums, if you've watched the programme you'll know, alright? But things like dance mums and arguments and nitpicking over tiny details, and actually just generally people forgetting the art and forgetting why we do it. Like, we all dance because we love it. There was so much pressure put on it all the time that it kind of got to a point for me that I fell so badly out of love with hip hop. Like, I was just like, I don't like it anymore. Like, it's not what I knew it for. It's changed so much, like, over the years, that people are just trying to fit trends, and like they're forgetting like there's so much foundations to learn. Like, there's so much more to street and hip hop than just what's in the competition scene. But because they don't, all they see is what's on social media and what's on Instagram, which again has positivity in it, but at the same time it's got a big negative factor as well, because that's what they see and that's what they want to do. But there's so much more to it, and there's so much more to learn, but everyone's just so like blinkers, like blindsided by what they think is what they should be learning. And it baffled me. Like, it baffled me. So I ended up giving it up, and then I took it back on again, and then I now no longer teach it at all. Like, I don't really have anything to do with teaching hip hop. I still run it at my school. Like, I have teachers who teach it for me and they still compete and things like that. But as for me teaching it, I don't really see me teaching it like in the future, and it's only because of the bad experiences I went through over the last, like, I would say even just in this last 5-6 years, changed. So yeah, it used to be street and hip hop, but now I would say it's more contemporary. Again, because I get to use my street training, I get to use like the freestyle element of street within my contemporary. It allows my contemporary to have that little like difference, that little edge to it, rather than it just being lyrical. I like to be able to express and tell stories and let emotions and feelings out through dance, and I feel that contemporary is that. So I would say now contemporary, hands down. Like, contemporary is my thing. But back in the day it was street and hip hop. So that's a hard one, because obviously I did have a massive love for it. I still love hip hop. Like, I still love the true art of hip hop. I still love what it actually is about. But because it isn't really about that anymore in the dance scene, well, it probably is. It's just not by a lot of people. Like, there's like a small handful of people who do still understand the art and the love for what it actually is, the culture of it. Because it's not as like popular on social media, like, to look at it like that just gets brushed off, and I don't get interested in it anymore. So I don't love it the same anymore. And I have quite openly said that to literally everybody who asked me that question. I don't hide that fact anymore, and a lot of people seen that in me back when I first gave it up anyway, that I just didn't love it anymore. Like, it wasn't what it was meant to be about anymore, and I'm glad I stopped when I did, before I really hated it, before like I got to the point where I just would not ever like remotely even enjoy it anymore, like enjoy watching it or even taking a class or something in it. I still would take a class in it, I would still teach it, like I would still watch it, like I love watching it. It's just that I'm not at that love of doing it anymore, which is sad. Okay, I've got one here that says, you've always been a natural blonde. So, little fact, yes, I have been a natural blonde. I'll insert a little picture right here of baby Nikki. And I was born like with black hair, then it all fell out and it all came in blonde. My mum was gutted because she really wanted a black haired blue eye baby and she got blonde and blue eye. It all fell out and it just came back in blonde, and it was like a proper like white blonde when I was younger, like really white. And I remember like there's a picture in my baby book and it's on my first day at school, and I had just been to Tenerife. I came back, my hair was white and my skin was dark. I looked so funny. That was just how my hair was back then. But like everybody else, as you get older, my hair colour changed, it got darker, and it went to the colour that is actually on the top, which is like a dirty blonde colour. It can lighten up quite easily in the sun. It is a lot darker than what it was when I was younger, and now I just kind of top it up with highlight. I wouldn't call it a natural blonde anymore, but yeah, I definitely was a natural blonde when I was younger, because you'll have seen from that little picture. You feel guilty about spending money on yourself? I wouldn't say like I feel guilty. I don't tend to spend money on myself as much as I used to. So now a lot of the times when I'm spending money, it's on Frankie, so I'll be buying her outfits, or I care more about her wardrobe than I do my own anymore. Like, I do still spend money on myself. I wouldn't say I ever feel guilty about spending money on myself. I feel if you work hard for your money, then you buy what you like with your money. No one should ever make you feel any different to that. At the end of the day, like, you worked for it, so spend what you want to spend on what you want to spend it on, and you don't really have to answer to anybody about it. Like, nobody really ever knows what anybody makes, or nobody should really even be that interested. Like, live your own life and do your own thing and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. If I want to spend money on myself, I'll spend money on myself, and I'm not going to feel guilty for doing it. My bills are always paid for. Whatever's left, I'll spend how I want to spend it. Simple as. We're getting close to the end, guys. Okay, I got another one here. It says, being a mum has changed you. Yes, I would say it has changed me massively, but only for the better. I have definitely adapted to mum life. I actually feel like I've always done it. I think because I've brought kids up through dance, and I've probably seen most of those kids more than their own parents do. I've dealt with different situations, I've helped them through teenage years, like things like that. I don't know, I feel like I've just kind of like slid right into motherhood, like, and just adapted to it quite well. There are some situations that I get into with Frankie and I'm just like, whoa, I have no clue what I'm doing. But has it changed me as a person? Yeah, it has. I would say it's definitely changed me. It's made me see life a little bit differently. Some things now just don't seem as important to get worked up or worried about. I've got Frankie to look after, and at the end of the day, I'm a role model to my daughter, and I don't want her growing up to be the person that I don't like. If I'm then becoming that person that I don't like, then she will. Like, if I'm doing something that I wouldn't have actually agreed with for her watching, then why am I doing it? That's the kind of side that I would say has changed me quite a bit. I'm very mindful of what's going on around me, and I take time now to think about a situation before I like react to it, or before I'll look at it in a totally different light, because at the end of the day, she's my priority. So everything, that kind of side has changed. I've changed as into a mum, but I'm still the same old Nikki. I just sometimes have to reserve it a little bit because I've got the little one now, so I can't just go, yeah, let's go out for tonight, let's go and book London, which I always did all the time, because I always just randomly booked London and would disappear for like a couple of days or a weekend or a week. Whereas now I can't really do that because I've got to think about Frankie and can I really take her along to certain things. I'm not going to stop doing things, I'm not going to stop going out, I'm not going to stop booking trips and stuff like that. She'll just come along with me. I just need to find a way to adapt around it. That's my thing. I just need to kind of work how to get around the little loops and crannies and fit into it, that's all. I think there's only like one more question to add. Okay, one of the last questions on here, it says, you want Frankie to be a dancer. I get this quite often actually. A lot of people say, oh, I bet you want Frankie to dance. Now, Don't get me wrong, I would love if Frankie chose to dance, because obviously that fits in my life really easily. So she would just take classes when I'm teaching classes, or I would take her to people who I know and trust that teach dance classes. If she chooses that she wants to play football, she'll play football. If she wants to do boxing, she'll do boxing. If she wants to be an ice skater, she'll be an ice skater. Whatever Frankie wants to do, whatever she is interested in, is what she'll do. As she grows older, I will give her every opportunity to try things. So I'll take her along to different things and see which one she takes to most and what one she enjoys the most. And that's how we'll find out what she wants to do. I will in no way force her to do anything she doesn't want to do. I was never forced into dance. Dance just came as part of my life. She'll be her own little person, she'll make her own decisions, and I don't want to force that on her. I've seen over the years many a child be forced into classes, forced into competing, mums who want it more than kids, and I don't want to do that to Frankie. Like, I point blank will never be that mum to her. I don't want to dictate what she's going to do. I will build structure and I will be motivational to her. I will encourage and support her, because I feel like that's the most important part of it. But whatever she does choose and decide to do, she'll do. Okay, so that is the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have learnt a little bit about me. Thank you for everybody who took the time to go and put assumptions over on my Instagram. Again, if you don't follow me over in there, make sure to go over and give me a little follow. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate if you did, and I would love you to come along and join my little black heart fam. Make sure as well, if you want to keep up to date with my videos, that you hit the little notification bell and you'll get notified for every time I upload a video, which I'm hoping to be at least twice a week, if not 3 times a week, depending on obviously my schedule with Frankie and how she dictates my life. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a little something, and please make sure to join me again for the next one. I love and appreciate it all very much, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come along and watch my video. So thank you. Love yous. Bye.